There we go. And we are live. So we're going to try to get as many people as we possibly can in this room. So we're live on YouTube and we are live on Facebook, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna let them get in here, man. We won't answer any questions until we get to at least a minimum of 100 likes. Okay. And then once the room starts to pack, you'll see the people start to pop in there. So your top left, you'll see that there's people in there. You can see the count starts to move up.
Oh wow!
So let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for sharing, O'Neill. Hey, this is a groundbreaking event. This is a huge surprise to my massive audience. It's my way of thanking them. We got Tariq Law in the house today. This is a real-time lawyer, big-time attorney out of New York City. Okay, so invite your friends. Hit the like button so we can get more people in there. Hit that like button, ladies and gentlemen. We're not gonna do a Q&A until you hit that like button 100 times. All right.
I'm gonna go like it myself.
Let's go live. Let's get it cracking. Make sure tell us where you're from, ladies and gentlemen. Tell us in the comments. I'm in North Carolina. Subhan is in New York City. Literally in New York City, not New York State, but New York City. Everybody. So let's go. Tell us in the comments where you're from, everybody. If you're in the room, tell us where you're at. Make sure you share this so your friends know what's going on. You got Michigan, Washington. There we go. All the way from California. Or is that Louisiana? Louisiana in the house. We got New York in the house. Bay Area, Virginia. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get some more people in the room. You'll start to see these numbers climb, Subhan. You'll be like, oh my God, what's going on? There we go. We got Oakland. We got Dallas, Florida, Greenville. That's what I'm talking about, ladies and gentlemen. Tell us where you're at.
Malden, Massachusetts.
There you go. There you go.
I went to school up in Massachusetts. There you go.
Yeah. That's a small world, right?
Chicago.
Chicago, South Florida, West Virginia, Boston. Hey, thank you, Nicholas. Thank you, everybody. Everybody who's in this room, thank you for coming, man. This is a big deal. The fact that how many times have you seen an attorney live on an actual live on YouTube talking about credit? Nowhere, not never. It never happens. So let's go. Margie, Ohio, Baltimore. Tell us where you're at. Let's get this room full. We're really close to getting 100 people in this room. Let's go. Margie from New Jersey, Ohio, Baltimore, Arizona, West Virginia. Let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Hey, look,
how do I share this myself?
That's a good question. Probably go on your channel and share it right there. Hawaii in the house. Hawaii, there you go. Let's go all the way from the islands. Tell us where you're at, where you're from. We're at 96 people. We're almost there, ladies and gentlemen. The more you interact, the more this goes out. Hit that like button. This is a Q&A about credit questions with a real attorney. This isn't someone that's portraying themselves or saying, I know consumer law. I know Subhan loves that right there. There's no misinformation. There's no misinformation.
It's on the shirt. We were talking about that earlier. It makes it very easy for people to remember the name. I'm just like wearing a name tag around.
That's what I'm saying. Got Atlanta, Illinois. Rick from Richmond. Let's go. You got an echo, Subhan. Yeah, I don't know why he does, but he does. We're gonna have to deal with it, I guess. We'll figure it out. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, James Rosa. We're literally like, oh, we're there. We just hit 100 people in the room. That's what I'm talking about. So look, we're going to talk about some topics. I'm going to ask Subhan some of the biggest questions that I know in credit repair and in the credit space. Connecticut. There we go. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and answer this question while we get people loaded in the room. Tell us where you're at, where you're from. Hit that like button. There's only 21 likes and 100 people in this room. Please make it make sense, everybody. Okay? Hit that like button. So this is a really good question from Renee Jackson. I'm going to put it up on the screen. Will someone's credit score increase if they have their student loans forgiven? So if your student loans are forgiven, then that means the account is going to be paid and closed. Unfortunately, paying off. What's the word I'm looking for? Your debt to income ratio, which are student loans, home mortgages, personal loans. Those are all installment plans. If it closes and it pays off, it does not increase your credit score, unfortunately. Revolving credit will increase your credit score if you're carrying debt. But the problem with a student loan, if they pay it, it's going to close. It's going to reduce your debt to income, which is great. You'll have a higher chance of approval with lenders because you're not carrying around that debt. But the account's going to close. It's going to have a negative impact on your credit profile. That's going to hurt your credit score, unfortunately. How long will it last? The data that I have seen, usually about 6 to 12 months, it can potentially take for your score to rebound from that account closing. So I hope that answered your question. You got NYC in the house already. There we go. You got Georgia, Maryland. Oh, sorry, Perryville, Maryland. There you go, Tariq Law right there with the fanciest water bottle you can find.
It also makes a great weapon.
We don't promote violence on this channel, okay, sir?
Okay. Gotta be careful.
Hello from Philly. There we go. All right, we've got a lot of people in this room, man. This room is filling up.
Everybody, if everybody that's here, just click the like button right now.
That's all you got to do. Click the like button. All my people got to hit that like button.
Let my people like.
There we go. We got Smyrna Beach, Baltimore. Okay, how to remove collections? Topics account. So we're gonna do a Q&A. I'm gonna ask Subhan some big questions that you see on social media, and then after that we're gonna open the floor for a Q&A. So stay tuned. Do not leave because we're gonna really answer these questions, and then you'll get a chance to answer this question at the end of it. So he can have a good way to answer it. Maybe turn off the mic on your computer. Turn off the mic on your computer. So yeah, tell us where you're at, ladies and gentlemen. We got a lot. Where is the like button? It's right there on the screen. Let me pull it up real quick. Let me see where I'm at real quick. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen. Tell us where you're at, where you're from. I'm in North Carolina, and Subhan is in New York, which is amazing. He is in New York, New York. He's really in the epicenter of everything. It's pretty wild. Give me 1 second. While Subhan is working on the audio over there.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you completely.
I can still hear the echo.
I don't know what it is, man. Something weird over there.
Just to prove that I'm here in New York City. Here is the beautiful view of the Empire State Building.
It's crazy, right? He's right there.
Yeah.
That's insane. We got Oklahoma, Kentucky, New Jersey, Virginia. We got Independence, Missouri. Double the information. That's right. Bakersfield, California. There we go. All right. So I'm going to start off with one of the biggest questions. So I'll go ahead and lead this. Does a charge-off mean you no longer owe the debt and they cannot sell it to another company? So it's a good question here. Can they?
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. So does a charge-off mean you no longer owe the debt and they cannot sell it to another company?
No, they still owe the debt, and the account could be sold to a debt collector who can choose to sue or collect any way they want. The creditor themselves, the original creditor themselves, can still collect themselves as well. Also, just before we get started, I have to give a disclaimer.
Hit him with the disclaimer.
I am an attorney. but I am not your attorney. If you are interested in contacting us, there is the only way to establish an attorney-client relationship with my firm is with a retainer agreement. So anyone who doesn't have one, you're not my client, and you're probably not here. So just want to make it clear. But back to the charge-off price. If there is a charge-off, then the account is still collectible.
Okay. So a lot of people don't understand this, that Sarah, we're having a bad echo. It's weird. Let me see. Maybe
if I try from the headset. No,
there you
that's
go.
not working.
No?
I still have the headset thing.
Move the cancel echo. Let's see if I do stereo audio. Hello? Yeah.
Are you there? Is that better?
Still here.
Is that better, ladies and gentlemen?
I think it's still here.
Of course, when the attorney's talking, we're having issues. So, all right. So you're gonna get booted out of the comments, and you get banned. So we're not gonna tolerate any negativity from people in here. Just so everybody knows. All right. So it's important to understand that there's a contractual agreement, and in that contractual agreement, it clearly states that the debt can be sold without your permission to a third party or any other parties. There is a tidbit that I talk about all the time, that if you do get a 1099, then that means that the debt is extinguished. So a great example, Citibank and One Main Financial. They will actually send you a 1099 if you've defaulted, usually around tax season or around the holidays, and people don't know what to do with it. So they don't do anything with it, and then the item is still reporting on a credit report. Now, it can still report on your credit report that it's a charge-off, but it has to not show a balance. Is that correct, Subhan?
That is correct. If the account if the person has received a 1099, you're right. It's dead. It's been extinguished. Think of it like a fire extinguisher. Think of a debt like a fire, and the 1099 is a fire extinguisher, and you just the debt is gone.
Okay.
So they can still report the historical data, but the balance has to be updated to be zero.
Okay. Remember that, everybody, ladies and gentlemen. If you get a 1099, they must update the balance to be zero. If they don't, then that is a huge deal. The biggest problem that people do is they dispute the balance on their credit reports, and then the balance gets wiped away before you've even negotiated to get the 1099. You can reach out to the actual creditor and ask them for the 1099. It's up to them to issue it to you. They don't have to give it to you. It doesn't mean that because it's a charge-off, you don't owe the money, or they wrote it off, there's no more debt. No, the debt is still alive and kicking until you receive the 1099.
And this happens a lot in the context of when a debt is past the statute of limitations. So what they'll do is a bank, and I can't necessarily name any particular bank because of confidentiality and what I've agreed to and stuff. But one of the banks that you named earlier does it all the time. And once a debt is past the statute of limitations, they'll go ahead and issue a 1099 and cancel the debt.
Absolutely. So that's a great question to ask right there. I'll move on to the so no, they don't have to. This is another great lead on to this. Like, they have to give you the 1099. No, they don't have to give you a 1099, right?
No, they can choose to try to collect all the way up to the end of the statute of limitations. If even after the statute of limitations, they can still try to collect. That just means they can't sue you for it. In some states like New York, they have to provide a statutory disclosure. Sorry, just the echo is really on my end too. They have to provide a statutory disclosure saying that the statute of limitations is expired, and even if the consumer chooses, they can pay. It's not on my speakers; it's in my headset too. So I've tried the speaker system and stuff. Maybe Mike, if you could put on a headset, I don't know if it's something like that.
Let me see. I'll try. Give us 1 second, guys. We're going to try to fix this audio issue here.
And then Aaron's question about what is the statute of limitations. That is how long a creditor has to potentially sue you. It varies state to state. It also varies creditor to creditor. So you can. It really varies where it is. Yeah, it's also hard for me to talk with the echo, but we're making it work.
Hold on, I'm trying to get these things in. Let's go. All right, can you hear me?
I can. Oh, the echo is still here. Liberty Aid Academy. Become a lawyer. You have to sell your soul to the devil. Why did you?
Some people are ridiculous, man. Like,
I love it. I should star. Yeah, it's only when I'm talking.
Yeah. So when I talk, you don't hear anything crazy?
No.
Yeah, it's got to be your headset. Can you disconnect the headset? And
if I take the headset out,
do you have a microphone on your computer? No, I don't hear you. Turn on the microphone on your computer. Oh, hold on. No, it's like unmute your mic. Your mic is muted. On your screen?
Yeah.
There you go. I can hear you.
It has unmuted your mic. Let's
it's
see.
better.
Where are we on the outward? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
No. I can't hear you.
Turn on your speakers. It's because the thing was hooked up to it. So while we work through these technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
I still can't hear you.
You can hear me?
Hello? No. Hello?
I can hear you.
Maybe.
Testing. 1, 2, 3. Can everybody out there hear me? If you can hear me, drop a 1 in the comments section, ladies and gentlemen. Drop a 1 in the comments section.
Still an echo?
I don't hear any echo whatsoever.
Yeah.
Do y'all hear echo out there when he talks?
How about an echo
now? Can everybody hear echo now when he talks?
Right?
Do you hear it in yours?
I still hear the echo on mine.
It's those headphones, bro. That's what it is.
Let me take these headset out. The headset is off, but there's still an echo.
Let's see.
It's better than before.
Still echoing with the headset off, they said.
Yeah.
Is mine echoing too, guys?
No.
Can everybody hear me clearly? No echo? take a private call from this guy. Yeah, there she goes. I'm gonna call you on the WhatsApp, and then you'll just turn off your. I'm gonna mute your microphone, and we'll go through me. All right.
Sure.
There we go. We're gonna work around it, ladies and gentlemen. 1 second. We got to work around.
Mike.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Turn
can
off
hear you now.
Turn off your audio.
I can hear you here.
Yeah.
I'm muted here. Okay.
All right,
we're
cool.
Good?
Is everybody does that sound better, ladies and gentlemen? Drop a 1 if that sounds better. Go ahead and talk, Subhan.
Yeah, I can hear you, and there's no echo on my end, so
Okay.
hopefully that is good with everybody. Mike, the IT credit guy. I tell judges all the time that I look like an IT guy, but I'm not your IT guy. And I guess it's true that Mike is the IT guy, and I'm just a pretty face.
Awesome. Yes, we fixed it. Yes.
There's still a slight echo, but it's not that much.
All right, cool. All right, there we go, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, we're talking about 1099s, and what's important to understand is, no creditor is obligated to issue it to you, so you have to almost beg for it. I'll be honest, okay? You got to be super nice. Do not call anybody, okay? Do not call anybody asking them to give you a 1099. Like, calling them on the phone is like talking to a regular rep that has no power or any authority to do anything. So it's the biggest mistake that people make. And now they got you on a recorded call saying, hey, send me the 1099, bro. You wrote it off. Like, no, send a simple letter, okay? All right. So next question. We got another good question here. Oh, this is one of my favorite ones. You guys have probably seen this all over social media, okay? All right. Are late payments illegal to report on your credit report? Okay.
No.
So
I should have a gavel. I should slam the gavel. It's like Credit Court. That would be a great TV show. Credit Court.
So did you guys hear that?
I just gave away my brilliant idea.
On a national live right there. All right. So hear that again, ladies and gentlemen. Are late payments illegal to report? The answer from an attorney is going to be
no. And the reason for that is that's what the credit reporting agencies are built for. They're built to report historical data that is accurate and complete. So as long as the information that's being reported is truthful, that the person was actually late, then they're allowed to report it. There are times when a creditor may report you as late and you're not late, but those are unique circumstances and not often. But most of the time, they're reporting a late, you're actually late. Yeah,
unless like you had some mortgage adjustment that you guys made some agreements to. You agreed that a certain amount of payments will be made will be deferred, and you have it in writing. If you're ever negotiating any type of payment deferment, whether it be an auto loan, a mortgage, you need to get it in writing. Never ever take the word of a representative that is just a regular person over the phone. If this is a contractual agreement, what people do not understand. So if you're not abiding by the contractual agreement, then guess what? They can report it late. So if there's going to be changes to a contractual agreement, don't you believe, Subhan, that they should send you some type of agreement adjustment or some type of change to it?
Yeah, I would definitely say make sure you get any sort of agreement or change in terms in writing. It's a lot of the times what happens is the representative that's on the phone may just be telling you something that you want to hear and may not be actually telling you something that's truthful and something that's being updated on their end in their accounts. And so you want to make sure that if you have negotiated any sort of change, that it's put in writing and you have a copy of it before you're kind of relying upon the change.
Absolutely. I'm sneaking something in here. See if it'll boost up this audio a little bit. So hold on 1 second. Let's see if I could change it. Let's see. Come on. There we go. All right. Can you still hear me, Subhan?
Hear me okay?
Yeah, I'm just trying to get it to switch over to this this thing I got hooked up. It doesn't want to. I think WhatsApp doesn't want to let us play properly over here. So hold on 1 second. Yeah. Okay. Whatever. All right. So yeah, late payments. There we go. Late payments are not illegal. You keep hearing people say that all over social media. They want to confuse you.
I saw a crazy video recently where a guy said that the late payments are illegal, and if you just stop paying and you get a charge off, that the debt is extinguished, which is like a total lie. And so, folks need to really be careful about who they're listening to and make sure that you talk to someone reputable who knows what they're doing and is not just lying in order to gain followers.
Or to buy their course. Everything's leading to something. You know what I mean? Like, buy my course, buy my letters. Like, it's just not true, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen. It just really isn't.
Yeah, everyone wants the latest quick hocus pocus solution.
No, they totally are. So let's move on to the next question. The next question is going to be, this is a good one. You guys have seen this on social media. I don't know how many times, how many videos I have talked about this. Is it illegal to ask for a down payment on a car that is going to be financed?
No.
I love how somebody was like, no.
A lot of times, that's like you if you had a trade-in of a car, right? It's the equivalent. That's like you putting in a down payment. Actually, a lot of times when you're leasing a car, they force you to put a down payment. Most places that will finance a car, a lot of them, particularly if you have bad credit or anyone who has bad credit, they will probably require you to put some money down. But it's not always required that you put the money down. But it's not illegal for you to put money down when you're financing a car. It actually will help you reduce the payments on your vehicle.
Yeah, but there's a crazy stat that a lot of people don't know. So for every $1,000 you put down, it lowers your payment by $20 or $25. That's it.
Yeah.
So it has to be a significant amount of money to be able to lower that payment. But it lowers the overall length of that possible loan also when you're putting more money down because you're owing less.
The reason for that is because usually the loans are over 5 years or 6 years, and if you break down $1,000 over 5 years, it'd be about $20 a month or $25 a month. So the reason for that, but a lot of people do want to reduce their payments, and so if you have an extra $4,000 or $5,000 sitting around, and you're purchasing a car, it could be a good thing to reduce your interest rate or put money down so you're reducing your payment.
Okay, yeah, facts. We got a really interesting question here. I'm gonna put it up on the screen right here. Oh, not that one, wrong one. This one. What about a charge off that the creditor took out their taxes 3 times? I got 3 1099s for the same amount. This is a really good question for Subhan right here.
I'd have to see that if they'd have three 1099s for the same amount for the same account, the balance, the most important thing is that the balance on the account on your credit report should be zero. So they can still report the historical data. They can still report the high balance. They can still report the date of last activity and the date of last payment. Well, the date of last activity would get updated because the 1099, but they can still report the historical data, but the balance on that account should be zero. So you should, make sure that the balance that is being reported on the account is correct. But it could be just a clerical error or some sort of hiccup or mess up on their end, that they're putting the 1099s 3 times. It could be that you may have gotten one with the same date on it, so they just printed it 3 times. There could be a lot of causes for that, but you'd have to see what the account looks like on the credit report and kind of make sure it matches that the balance should be zero.
Always pay attention. If you got a 1099, the balance needs to be zero. If it's not updated to zero, then you need to dispute it. But don't tell them how to fix it. Don't say, "Hey, it's reporting a balance." they're gonna fix it automatically.
A lot of times we tell people to tell them exactly what's wrong, and they still won't fix it. So you'd be surprised on all cases that we have. On all the cases, actually, on all the FCRA cases that we have, we tell the consumers to tell them exactly what's wrong, and they will still screw it up. There are times where they won't screw it up and it gets fixed, and in that case, you guys are happy, and I'm happy that you're happy. But there's enough times that the creditors and the furnishers of the account will screw it up.
Yeah, so he's saying it shows I owe 3 times the charge off. So this is a really good example. If the item is charged off, then you need to request, all of the billing from start to finish of the actual whatever charged off to show what you actually truly owed. And if they're charging you off for 3 times whatever was owed, and they've sent you the 1099 and it's still reporting that, then guess what? You have a serious issue here. Now, in order to successfully talk to Mr. Subhan Tariq over here, you need to pull copies of your annual credit reports from annualcreditreport.com. Do you like to have the Anovis report too, Subhan?
It could help. It would help, but a lot of folks may not know how to pull that. And actually, I have a tab on my website where people have some instructions on how to pull their credit reports. But annualcreditreport.com is great. It gives you all access to all 3 of your credit or major 3 credit reports for free online. You can get them every week until the end of December this year because of the CARES Act still is in effect. But and we find that not all of the accounts are being reported on Innovis. But if they are, if you have that account reported and pull it and send it to us, we're happy to
put your make sure Subhan put your website in the comments, and everyone will be able to see it. But listen, I'm going to make something very, very clear here. Don't set up a call to just talk about your issue. Like, you have to have a real issue, and I'm not trying to be mean about this, but like, you can't waste an attorney's time. Okay, this is a real attorney. He's got real cases. You need to really have a serious situation like this. This is a very good good situation. Well, not good situation. It looks like it could be a possible case with Oklahoma Freedom here, where he's disputed it 4 times, and Equifax told him to shut up about it. As Subhan said, it's not uncommon, right?
It's not uncommon. You see that if you see something that's hanging on my wall, you may be able to see that. There was a lady who had a post-bankruptcy discharge account. She sent 8 disputes with specifically telling them that the account on that balance should be 0, and they never fixed it. So don't think that the credit reporting agencies are super smart and they're going to fix it. They are multi-billion-dollar organizations, but like a lot of other big companies, they're cheap, and they have hired people who don't speak English very well. And so,
a lot of their
it's not.
And two, what a lot of people don't realize, man, is like the people that they hire are just people that are just answering phone calls. They're using a lot of technology to just respond to letters based on whatever response they want to give. And it's not like a real legitimate response. They're not really looking at the letter. They're running it through an e-Oscar system that's going to code it to a certain code, which is crazy because every one of the credit bureaus, like if you guys have ever been on to like, we'll say Experian, Equifax, or TransUnion, they only give you a certain amount of reasons to dispute something. They're not going to give you anything except for that. So you have to remember the system is built to only choose those reasons on that list. If anybody ever goes on Experian or any of these TransUnion or Equifax, look at those reasons. Those are the reasons that they want you to use, but that's not the only ones you need, right? Like that's
true. And so you could have, when you dispute an account and you send a dispute letter to the credit reporting agencies, let's say you sent them a paper dispute. What happens is they get that, they have to convert that paper dispute into a 2-digit code, a Metro 2 code. This is where a lot of people in the industry kind of get confused. But they convert it into a Metro 2 code, and then they put it into the e-Oscar system. That's the platform that's being used to communicate with the furnishers, and they send it off. The furnishers get a copy of your dispute letter, but they also get an ACDV, an Automated Consumer Dispute Verification Form. And that contains all the pertinent information, name, address, date of birth, social, and that 2-digit code, what's wrong. They get access to your dispute letter and any evidence that you attach, but it's like, think of the ACDV as like a cover sheet. So the cover sheet tells them this is what's wrong with the person's account, and this is what they want you to dispute, or this is what they want to dispute with the furnisher, and now you have to go out and perform an investigation.
Yep, that's it. So Oklahoma Freedom, if I were you, I would reach out to Subhan. I believe that you may potentially have a case here. I don't know. I'm not an attorney. He is. Okay.
And even for us, we are very careful about what is a case, and we will only tell you whether or not you have an actionable claim after you've already sent us documents and we've had a chance to analyze it, and then we will schedule a call with you.
There you go.
So, once we get the
needed documents, yeah,
then we can analyze it and get back to you.
Definitely. That was a great question. Let's take a look at. There's a really good question I'll put up here on the screen before we get to the next question. I like this one. Can you erase an old address on Experian that is on a collection report? So
you can go. You can send a letter to any of the CRAs and tell them that address is old, and you can try to correct old addresses that are on your account and addresses that are associated with your credit file. Yes.
Because what people fail to realize is your information needs to be accurate and updated and complete. So if it's not the most updated address, you have the right to request it to be deleted. And everyone needs to understand something. You have the right to dispute anything you want on your credit report. If you believe it's not accurate, it's not complete, and it's not fair, you can dispute it on your credit report. So always remember that, ladies and gentlemen. You're going to get kickback when you call the credit bureaus and you try to dispute it. And they say, "Oh, well, that's what's in our system." No, it's still your right to dispute it.
Yeah, and you can send them an easy letter saying nicely, that this account, this address is old and it's not mine anymore, and I want to update my credit report to have only my latest address on there.
Yep, just that simple. Just like the guy said it right now. It's literally that easy, and people try to make it seem like it's so difficult. Like, oh, they don't want to change it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I'm saying? But let's go to the next question. This is a really good one. We see this a lot on social media also. Does talking to a debt collector reset the debt clock?
No.
There you go. You heard it. So what can reset the debt clock?
The only thing that can reset the debt clock is if you make a payment, and that's only in certain states. So now New York recently changed the law. So even if you made a payment on a time-barred debt, which is past the statute of limitations, that still won't refresh the statute of limitations. That account will still be past the statute of limitations. So they still can't sue you for it, even if you have made a small payment to try to feel better about paying something that you owe.
Now, I'm going to answer this question before someone asks this question real quick. Now, if you ask them to delete an address and they don't delete the address, is that against the law? That's a tough one.
Me, or are you telling me?
No, I'm asking you. Yeah, I'm asking you.
It's historical data, so they can keep historical data on your credit reports.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. This is another part
that addresses that you have been associated with.
Correct.
So they can technically keep it on.
Correct. And what people don't understand is they have this misconception. Anything can be deleted from your credit report. That's not how it works, unfortunately. You're never going to hear me say that on any video or anywhere. Anything can be deleted from your credit report. It's historical information. It's put on there. It's like a database. It's your adult report card. And that's what people find hard to understand.
So one thing about that, though, there is no obligation under the Fair Credit Reporting Act for the credit reporting agencies to report anything. But if they are reporting something, then it has to be complete and accurate. So, just keep that in mind, that it is possible to remove accounts that may not be complete or accurate.
There you go. So
sorry, I speak slowly because I want to make sure I choose my words.
No, I get it. Because I know,
I am a lawyer, and there's a lot of pressure that comes along with people look for you.
Absolutely, and this is I had this conversation with Subhan before we got on. Like, he has to walk a really fine line. He can't just be throwing things out there, and people are like, "Oh my God, he said that." You know what I mean? And
the worst thing that can happen for me is somebody calls and says, "Oh, but you said this on a video, but it's not true." And that's why I want to make sure everything I say is truthful and complete and accurate.
Absolutely. All right, that was a really good question. So now, the question here is, so talking to a debt collector does not reset the debt clock. What can reset the debt clock? In my personal experience, is when you pay an original creditor and you pay off let's say you negotiate a settlement, then the debt clock gets restarted from the date you make that new payment. Is that correct, Subhan?
In most states, yes. New York just changed the rules.
Correct.
So even if you made a payment, it doesn't restart the debt clock.
There you go. Is New York the only state that does that? I'm
not sure, but since I'm in New York, I've noticed it. And it just came out last year.
Correct.
New Jersey doesn't have that, so I'm also in New Jersey. I also have a license in New Jersey. And New Jersey doesn't have that. So if you make a payment, that restarts the debt clock there.
Absolutely, yeah. And a lot of laws changed with debt collections in New York, which is groundbreaking for New Yorkers. But we're hoping that other states see this and take action, because a lot of these
some of us we're trying to take it further. So New York has, other than the debt collection statute, which has been updated recently, New York has a terrible Unfair Deceptive Trade Practices Act, a UDAP statute, which is GBL 349, General Business Law 349, which is horrendous. It only gives you a $50 recovery. The actions have to be consumer oriented. So think of it like if it's just terrible, and there's no attorney's fees involved. So some of us are working on trying to get updates to that law, and I think as more people get active in the consumer space, it will hopefully help laws get better.
Absolutely. This is a really quick question I'll put up on the screen. I had a debt collector reset the debt clock for an account on my report saying I made a $10 payment, but I have not paid them anything. How can they do that? That's not accurate reporting. So that's the biggest error right there. If you never made a payment whatsoever, then you may potentially need to talk to some type of legal services because it's not accurate, it's not complete, and it's not fair.
Yeah, and it's particularly if it's a debt collector, there could be multiple violations. One of the FDCPA, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act. If you've been disputing it with the credit reporting agencies, then there could be additional violations of the FCRA for both inaccurate reporting and also for a re-aged account. So I would try to pull my credit reports and send them over. You can do that by going on my website.
There you go. Awesome. So I got another question, really good question I have for Subhan here for the audience. This is a really good one that you also see on social media. Does acknowledging the debt make you liable and you must pay it? Now, what I'm referring to is like if a debt collector calls you, he's like, "Hey, is this Mike the credit guy?" I'm like, "Yeah, you owe us this much amount of money. You need to pay us." Now, does that make me liable? And I'm like, "Yeah, I owe the debt. Who cares? Whatever. Have a nice day, bro." Does that make me liable to pay it?
Well, you're liable anyway to pay it. So if you are in a contractual relationship with a creditor and you've promised to pay them a certain amount of money and you don't pay them, you're already liable for it. They still have to do things to try to collect, right? So they can sue you for it. They can still send you collection letters, but just talking to them on the phone and admitting liability does not automatically give them the ability to take money out of your account. They still have to go and sue you and try to collect and get a judgment.
Correct. There's a really good question that just popped in here too. I'm gonna cover that real quick. Can a debt collector pause the statute of limitations on a collection?
No.
God, I love this question. Yeah, I didn't write that one down, but it came up on here. So my man right here, this is something that debt collectors have been doing on the phone with people. And they're saying that they can pause it and then come back and collect it later. No, the time clock cannot be paused.
Yeah, they still the courts, even though stuff was remote, the courts were still open. So if they wanted to sue you to try to collect on the debt, they had the ability to do that. So if they chose not to sue you, that doesn't mean that that the debt is not is still good to go.
Yeah. So they're just lying. They're trying to get you to pay. That's basically what they're trying to do. I have a golden rule, Subhan, and I don't know if you ever heard this. 100% of debt collectors lie 100% of the time.
I can't comment on that.
I know you can't, but I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Yeah.
That's my own saying.
There are a lot of. I'll say this though, that there are a lot of shady debt collectors, and I would say that given that the economy is kind of in flux and things are changing very rapidly, it's very possible that the new debt collectors show up and they may not necessarily abide by the rules.
Correct. All right, I got another good question here. Does paying a collection or charge off mean they must delete it from your credit report?
No.
There we go. It's that simple. He's like, no.
They got to update it. They got to update it to report the correct balance. But they don't have to delete it all because you paid it. The historical data can remain on the credit report.
Yeah. And a charge off. Yep. And a charge off will stay in your credit report for 7 years from the moment the delinquency started. So we call it the first date of delinquency. So it's 7 years from the first date of delinquency. The first date of delinquency is 30 days from your first missed payment that led to the actual charge off / collection.
Yeah.
Okay.
Question. I see a question that they live in Queens in New York City. Where's my office? I also live in Queens, but my office is here in Midtown on Park Avenue, 99 Park Avenue, and we have security downstairs. So don't just show up without calling us and scheduling an appointment.
Yeah. All right. I got another question. Can a debt collector call your relatives or workplace and talk about the debt?
So they can call your workplace or your relatives, but not talk about the debt. They can call for the sole purpose of trying to find your contact information, but they cannot talk to a third party about the debt. They can talk to your wife or your spouse nowadays, but they can't talk to any other third party.
Absolutely. They just can't talk about the debt, ladies and gentlemen. They can call and try to locate you, which is very common. But they can't talk anything about the debt. The moment they talk about the debt to your family members or your workplace employers, that's a serious issue. That's a violation of the FDCPA. All right, there we go. I got one good question here. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. All right, here we go. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. Is it illegal to report a debt to a third party without a written signature?
What third party are you talking about?
I think he's talking about a debt collector.
Can a debt collector report a debt to a third party?
I think he's saying, is it illegal to report a debt to a third party? So he's saying like the debt is sold and then reported to a third party. Is that what you're meaning there? Go ahead and give me a little bit of clarity, Ron T. We need a little bit more clarity for this question. It seems like a good question, but it's kind of a little scattered. Okay.
It's too ambiguous.
Yeah.
It feels like they're trying to bait me into giving a wrong response.
Yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, I don't blame you on that one. All right. Partner with Jasmine, Mike. I want to thank you for your DIY. Hey, listen. I want to thank you for trusting in us with our DIY. It's pretty amazing. There's another one. Debt collection. Let's talk about. Let me see. I saw it right here. What if the debt collector calls and won't tell you? Okay. What if the debt collector calls and won't tell you who the original debt is with? Okay.
You should request validation with them over the phone to ask them for paperwork. Who owes this? Who owns this? Who's the original creditor? What's the balance? What was the balance at the date of charge off? You should ask all of these questions before just trusting what they are saying. New York City puts out an excellent debt collection guide for consumers. I would suggest looking that up and getting it, and I'll just put the link in the comments here. But there's a New York City debt collection guide that I would highly recommend everyone take a look at, and it tells you that you should request validation of a debt even if you recognize it.
Yeah.
So you should ask them who's the original creditor, what was the balance, what was it for, and try to gain as much knowledge about the account before you decide to make a payment.
There you go. There you go. All right. So I got one final last question I want to ask you. We touched on this a while ago, and it's one that's all over social media. Are CPNs illegal? Is it even possible to get a legal CPN? So for people that do not know what a CPN is, there's people on social media. I call them scammers. I'm going to just say it. They're scammers. They're saying that there's something called the credit protection number, that you can get a separate social security number that is not associated to your original social security number. So is it legal to have a CPN? Is the real question here.
I would really stay far, far away from these things. Everyone has a social security number. This is what the federal government uses to identify you. And this is what the credit reporting agencies and furnishers use to identify you. If you try to use some other number that you have not been assigned by the government, you could get in trouble.
Yeah.
And I would really just tell people, don't do it.
Absolutely. You know, people don't.
There's plenty of legitimate ways to work on improving your credit, that you don't need to go down the shady path.
You really don't.
Yeah.
You know, I posted recent videos across all platforms of a young lady telling her story, where basically she went to prison for this. She didn't know. She got convinced that it was legal. She got it. She got a car, and it's grand theft auto because you intentionally went into a dealership. It's bank fraud because you're putting information on an application that is not yours. Like that, you cannot put a social security number on an application that's not yours. That's illegal.
Yeah, and the important thing to note is that on an application, they're asking you for a social security number. They're not asking you for any other number.
Yeah.
They're asking you directly for a social security number.
Yeah, like.
So if you're giving some other number that's not your social security number, then that's not true.
Yeah, it's like Aisha. I'm gonna put her question up on here so I can kind of roll on this topic. I heard CPNs aren't legal anymore, but celebrities do it. They got the money and the lawyers to protect them. No, so think about this. You've heard this on social media. The people that are saying it, scammers, because they're trying to convince people that this is legitimate. Celebrities do it. Why not? Think about it like this. It doesn't matter who you are. You have to go through the same process that anyone else goes through when you apply for credit. Beyonce doesn't have a pass to fill out a separate application because she's Beyonce. You know, LeBron James has to fill out the same application to buy a home that you would if you're trying to get lending. The same application applies to everybody. It doesn't matter how much money you have. You all have to fill out the same application. So,
and I would just tell people, just be careful. Don't be in a rush to cut corners. You know, do it the right way. You will find fulfillment and goodness when you do things the right way, and you treat people the right way, and you just, there's plenty of legitimate ways to improve your credit and get financing for things that you may need. Even if you have subpar credit, there are ways to work on improving your credit.
Yeah.
So I would tell you, it's not worth it.
Yeah, I got a really good question here. This is a really good one. This will be the last question we take. Is it correct if a collection on your credit report is showing as open? That's a tough one. I know.
Yeah. What do you mean by open? Open as in the account is open, or
the
open
status says open.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's like they're trying, because there's people on social media. I'm not gonna name anybody, but there's a video out there. She says it says open. Wrong. Like it's an open collection. They're openly trying to collect. Sometimes you gotta just use logic, but people want to make up things that they just came up with to get you to get more views, and then send out some bogus letter that doesn't get you anywhere. You know?
Yeah, I would. Just these things are pretty straightforward, and I would tell people just to, think about it from your own perspective. Is the account correct and it's showing that it's open? Yes.
Absolutely. So yeah, man. Listen, y'all need to be really thankful that Subhan came on today. This is a really big deal that we were able to have a New York City attorney, consumer law attorney, to come out here and answer your questions. If you need Subhan, drop your link again in the comments, Subhan. If you have something that you need to address, that you feel that your rights have been violated, debt collectors, creditors, the FCRAs, the FDCPA, reach out to Subhan if you can. But there's a process. You're not just going to talk to him. People automatically think they can just pick up the phone and just talk to you. That's just how it works.
If you call the phone number that's on my website, you will get my answering service. So you could call the phone number, but I won't be the one answering the phone. But I mean, some people they want to call and talk to somebody. You can talk to my answering service, but be careful. They charge me $3 a minute, so I'd get pretty upset if you just keep calling them. Actually, it's like $3.50 a minute. And then somebody here is, I'm sure, thinking, "Oh, I'm going to screw this guy over. I'm just going to call and talk to them for half an hour." They're trying to get you off the phone. But send us an email. There's places that you can pull your, we give plenty of information on credit reporting errors, how to pull your reports, what to do about it, and then we can, help you if you need it. But like I mentioned before, I am an attorney, but I'm not your attorney. If you want us to review your account or a situation, we can do that. But the only way to establish an attorney-client relationship is with a signed retainer agreement.
Got you. Also, Subhan is going to be creating a dispute club that is a membership-based club. So if you want to go in there and learn more about real consumer law from a real attorney, reach out to Subhan. It's a really big deal what he's doing, because I don't think there's any other attorneys out there that are teaching this stuff to consumers or to credit repair people. So if you're a credit repair person out there and you want to really learn more on how to properly handle situations, how to look for specific things, reach out to Subhan, and ask him to join his membership dispute club. Membership.
And then we talk a lot about, during our dispute club, we talk a lot about core cases. We go a lot more in depth. So, if you guys are interested, reach out and we'll figure out a way to get you in.
Yeah, listen, this is a huge opportunity out there. So for all you followers, subscribers, I cannot thank you enough. This is a huge opportunity. If you're looking to learn more about this, to really understand your rights, then reach out to Subhan and join the club, because it's a big deal. Like, there's not any other attorney out there that's doing this, that's allowing consumers to come in and, listen to these and learn more and really understand, the proper way, not some guy who's trying to sell you a course. This is an actual attorney. So I cannot thank you enough, everyone that came to the live from Facebook and from YouTube. I love you. Thank you so much for showing support. Anything else you want to add, Subhan?
Yeah, if you go on my website, if you scroll all the way down, there is a place to subscribe to our newsletter. We send out a newsletter about once a week.
Okay.
The latest things that are happening. But other than that, I'm really thankful everyone is here. Maybe we can do this again. Hopefully, less mic troubles in the future. Maybe we can make it an ongoing thing where we can have these discussions and with people who have questions, and we can have maybe a monthly or quarterly question and answer session with them.
There you go. All right, thank you everyone for coming, man. I hope everyone has a wonderful night.
Take care. Be safe, everyone. Talk to everyone soon. Bye bye.